Coach, so many of these games with the Hawks seem to, have these close contests. What did you see as the difference in this one tonight?
I think it was that third quarter, start of it. That got a big momentum shift. We just turned it over. 18 turns for 20 points. You're giving baskets away. I think that was the big momentum shift from that point. They were getting it on makes. They were just flying out, long shots, long rebounds. When the ball did go in, they were just throwing it ahead. They're leaking out. So a couple miscommunications down the stretch in our switching, over-helping, gave up some easy threes. So I think just our communication as well as taking care of the basketball was a big key tonight.
I know you've talked often about the late game stretches. It often is the possessions before that, earlier in the game that lead up to that. But what did you see in your team's late game execution tonight?
I'm going to have to go back and look at the film. I think we saw some things early on in the game that were working for us. Being able to go back and dissect them, and the movement on the backside, the ball getting side to side, finding the right hands, being able to attack downhill. They did a great job of packing the paint in. But again, I think we got some good looks, but I think we took some tough ones, and I think we're going to have to go back and look at that and see where we can be better.
Paolo and Franz obviously were able to get themselves going offensively, but no other player scored in double figures. What do you have to do to when both of them have it going and are feeling it, to make sure others kind of stay involved and stay in rhythm?
Well, I think some of it is, can't turn it over. So you're losing a lot of those possessions. So whether, you're getting looks or not getting looks, we got to make sure we're taking care of the basketball first and foremost, so you're not giving up easy possessions and losing possessions.
What was the plan for Trae Young tonight? He only had 8 points in 3 quarters, but finished with 19. So
19 on 17 shots. I think it would just make his life hard, make it difficult, put different bodies on him, trap him sometimes, double team, switch him to go back after him, just different things. He made it difficult. He hit some tough ones down the stretch, but for 19 points on 17 shots, I think our guys did a decent job. And they hit some timely ones, but they also made some timely plays on some overhelp where they got a couple threes off.
Just kind of building on the issue of turnovers that's been kind of an issue throughout the course of the year. How do you get, is this the kind of game where you kind of understand that you have to fine-tune some of those details, whether it's defensively overhelping, whether it's the turnovers? Just how do you kind of get the team back to kind of honing in on those details that you're going to need in March and April? Yeah,
I really think it's the spacing, the timing, where guys are on the floor, being patient. The ball's got to move faster than bodies, not holding it, so understanding exactly where guys are going to be on the floor. But it's all things that we'll look at tomorrow. We'll clean it up and then be ready to come out against Charlotte on Wednesday.
Thank you, Coach Mose.
Thank you.
We'll be back with
Paolo, your group has, played a number of these close games with the Hawks over the last couple of years. How much do you feel turnovers played a role in were the difference tonight?
Yeah, I think we had 17 to their 16, or 18, sorry, to their 17. So pretty even there, but I think, I got to go back and watch it. I don't know if we had any key turnovers late, but I think we did have some bad turnovers early on in the game that allowed them to get some easy baskets. But I wouldn't say that was the sole reason why we lost.
Franz had 37, you had 31, but it came in a loss. Is that, how do you evaluate that in the moment now, and how do you guys get other players involved when you are going off that way?
That's a good question. I think me and him being the two guys, 29 attempts and 22 attempts. And the next highest is 6 attempts. So, you could say maybe we can get more guys involved. And we got to figure out ways that, we can do that.
We know you guys have the playoff experience from last year. We know that you guys believe that you're a playoff team and that you can play a lot better. I know you and Franz are still kind of working yourselves back, but how do you kind of find the details and kind of the intensity that you need to kind of ramp up toward March and April at this point in the season?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you can, really point to last year. Last year was a different team. It's a different year. And so, this is a new season, new team, and we have to prove that, we're deserving of being in the postseason. So we're going to have to, really come together and, lock in on this last stretch, because we're riding the line right now, and, it can go one or two ways.
Jamal's often talked about late game situations not actually being about the last few possessions, but kind of the possessions that lead up to it throughout the game. But also when we talked to you a couple weeks ago, you mentioned that you guys needed to get better with some of your late game execution. I know you need to watch it still, and there's a lot to digest from that. But how would you kind of assess in the moment the way you guys closed the game tonight?
It wasn't very good. Like you said, got to watch it, see what we did exactly wrong, but. Wasn't sharp as we probably would have liked, and resulted in some tricky possessions there at the end. And I think with a team like them, if you can't convert those possessions, and you let Trae Young get the ball back, he's going to lull you to sleep, whether it's getting fouled or closing the game out. So we knew that, and that's on us.
Your third quarter, you had 20 points in the quarter. Got your 3-point shooting going. Got to the basket a little bit early. Kind of the first big quarter that you've had, since coming back, or since that first game against Milwaukee. What did you kind of feel and see in that quarter that got you going and kind of got you back into that rhythm?
I think just me being aggressive. That was really it. I don't think it was nothing that was happening. I think just me, trying to seek out, my shot, be aggressive. That's really it.
Thank you, Pete. I'll be back with Franz.
Franz, you've had a number of these close games with the Hawks over the last couple of years. What did you see as the difference in this one tonight?
It reminds me a little bit of the last Miami game. I thought we struggled to get a good look at the end of the game. And then I think we just had too many just stretches throughout the game where we didn't have the right urgency as a group. We had that in the second quarter, and then coming out of halftime as well. So, we just got to be better.
You mentioned that Miami game and the late game execution. Just how do you guys improve on that, and what do you think the Hawks did to limit what you guys were able to do down the stretch?
I mean, I think they got good defenders, individual defenders. Obviously, they started switching, which is what a lot of teams have been doing. So it's not anything new, really. As a group, we got to be better with that stuff. Myself, personally, obviously, I'm a big part of that too. And just watch film as players know what the intention is out there, and as coaches too, and communicating to us. So I think it's a group thing. But we as players out there, obviously, we feel what's going on in the game, and at the end of the day, we have the responsibility to execute.
You mentioned needing to kind of increase the urgency or have the right urgency. You guys have been in the playoff kind of chase before, finding those details, whether it's executing down the stretch or protecting the ball from turnovers. How do you kind of find that? Is it just something that you just have to be attentive to when you're playing, or?
It's just focus. Yeah.
Put your finger on why maybe it's gone in and out in this stretch, or why it went in and out today.
No, I'm not going to sit here and say, Atlanta didn't play a good game. I think you got to give them credit too. But I think a lot of stuff is on us, whether it's focus or as a group, like I said, not having enough purpose out there. That's on everybody that's playing. It's a team sport, but we'll be better. We'll learn from it, and we got 27 games left, I think, and hopefully this will help us down the stretch.
Franz, you and Paolo combined for 68 points. Obviously, you guys had it going offensively, but as a team, how would you kind of evaluate your guys' overall offensive performance tonight?
106 points. a lot of turnovers doesn't help. I mean, I think if you look at the stat sheet, that's probably the biggest thing. You know, give them 20 points, I think, off our mistakes. It's really hard to win in this league, and we still had all the opportunities in the world to win the game. But no, turnovers aren't just turnovers. I think there's different reasons why turnovers happen. It's not always just on the guy with the ball. So, but I think it's part of the urgency thing that I mentioned. Just obviously you can start a game like that, but as a group we gotta figure it out. When we have 5, I think, in the first quarter, to figure that out and just be better.
Thank you, Franz.
Yeah.